Good morning. It is Monday and I have decided to film an experiment this week. I noticed that lately I have been working very long hours, which is not healthy for my physical health, for my mental health, and I'm not sure that it's necessary. So I decided to film an experiment where I will work only 4 hours every day for an entire week. I'm calling it the 4-hour weekday experiment. And I decided to film this for you. Maybe you are interested in this kind of stuff, just for us to see if it is indeed that I can finish my work within 4 hours every day, and if my long working hours have something to do with the workload or with how much I think I should be putting in terms of hours into my business. I'm not going to make the intro very long. There are a few rules that I want to follow. First of all, I don't want to count any meetings or any client work basically into these 4 hours, because there are days when I work with clients back to back and I wouldn't be able to do anything else if I counted my client work as part of these 4 hours. Secondly, scrolling on social media and responding to comments will not count as work. And thirdly, it's not really a rule, but it's something for me to be able to check how much I'm working. I will be using a timer, and when I take a break, I'll stop the timer, and when I come back, I will start the timer again, and therefore I'll be able to see when I would have finished my 4 hours of actual work. So let's see how this goes. For the moment, I am, what time is it? It's 9:05 in the morning. I am going to have breakfast before I start, and I'll check in with you throughout the day to see how we're going. It's 9:30. I just finished my breakfast and I am ready to start my working day. First of all, I want to tell you what I've got planned for Monday. This is the day where I usually do my content creation. So by that I mean my social media posts and videos, my YouTube content, my newsletter content, and any articles or blogs that I need to write for the publications that I collaborate with. So I'm going to spend maybe a couple of hours or maybe even more doing that, because it's quite a hefty piece of work. Usually on a Monday I also like to plan the week, and because next week being the last Monday of the month, I've got something else planned. I have brought forward some strategy work, so I'm going to spend some time reviewing the month and thinking about how I want to act for the next couple of months or so, and just do some strategic planning. So I'm going to do that in the morning. However, I have a meeting today at 10:15, so that's not going to count towards my 4-hour work allowance. So I'm just going to do the planning now. Then I'm going to have the meeting, and then I'll start with my content creation and everything, and I'll keep you posted at the end of it to tell you how it went. It is almost 12 o'clock and I have done about 1 hour and 15 minutes of work. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but as I mentioned to you, I had a meeting this morning and that meeting took a bit longer than what I expected. Anyway, I took a break now because I want to eat a donut. So I'm gonna have my donut now and chill for about 5 minutes or so before I go back to my work. 20 to 3 and I am wrapping up for the day. I did almost 4 hours of work. I probably had another 10 minutes to go, but I really have to go because I've got something planned for today. So I need to leave the house and I need to go, and I will catch up on those 10 minutes later when I get back. So far so good. I will see if when I come back I can stop myself from working even more and actually keep it to a 4-hour working day. But that being said, I'm quite happy with how today went. I will see you tomorrow, which is going to be possibly a long day because I have a couple of meetings in between, but we'll take it from there. Good morning, it is 8:15 and I am ready for day 2 of the 4-hour workday experiment. Yesterday I ended up working for another almost an hour in the evening, so my total working hours for yesterday were 4 hours and 45 minutes. I had to finish something. It was an easy fix and I decided to do it. That's it. I worked a little bit longer yesterday. We'll see how we do today. I have a YouTube video coming out later today, so I need to do some final preparations for that. That will take me probably about an hour and I'll do that this morning. I have 3 meetings today, one at 12, one at 2, and then another one in the evening. I'll have to do some prep for those, but hopefully by the time it gets to 12 o'clock, I will have done a big chunk of the work that I'm supposed to be doing today, of the 4 hours. I'll catch up with you later in the day, hopefully, if not at the end of the day, and we'll see how this goes. It is 8 minutes past 4 and I have done 4 hours and 4 minutes of work today. I'm calling it a day, although there is more that I could be doing, but I really want to stick to this 4 hours. Yesterday was an exception. I'm not going to make another exception today. So here we are. I'm finishing. I'm wrapping up. Today I managed to do quite a lot in terms of what I needed to do for my YouTube video to get it up. Then I did the preparation for those meetings. I also started putting together the video that I'm filming now, which is a new thing for me, editing as you are filming. And I did a few bits and bobs in terms of answering some emails and scheduling some stuff into my calendar. The editing took a bit longer than I expected, but I have also not done this kind of editing before. So all in all, I think I've done a pretty good job at keeping to the schedule today. We will see if things start to pile up. But for the moment, I think I'm doing okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 3 of the 4-hour workday experiment, It's almost 8:30 in the morning and I am ready to start my day. Hopefully today will be an uncomplicated one. I only have one meeting at 2 p.m. So with a bit of organization, I can get my 4 hours of work before that and have the afternoon off. I'll take a half an hour break for breakfast and another half an hour for lunch. But other than that, I don't intend to take any other breaks, and hopefully I won't get any interruptions. So fingers crossed, I will be able to finish my work by lunchtime today. It's 35 minutes past 11. I've done 3 hours of work, but I forgot to have breakfast. So I'm gonna go and eat something now, whether it's breakfast or an early lunch, I don't know. But I'm doing really well on my work. I'm not doing so well on my health and well-being, I guess. That's it. I wanted to check in with you, let you know how I'm doing. I'm really enjoying these bursts of working, putting your head down, but I need to be careful that I don't get sucked in by only working and not balancing it out with eating and hydrating myself and all the stuff that you would normally do as a human being. So there we go, another lesson learned. I'm gonna go eat something and I'll catch you later. It is just past 1 o'clock and I have finished my 4 hours of work for the day. I certainly have more work to do that I could be doing, but for the sake of this experiment, I'm going to stop here and resume my work tomorrow. I'll see you then. Well, it's not even 9:30 and I already finished filming my video, which is amazing. I usually wait until later to film because the light in this room is not always great, but today I guess I got lucky. The universe is supporting my 4-hour workday experiment. So I am going to start now editing and putting the footage together. A good start of the day. I'm really happy. I'll see you guys later. It is almost 11 o'clock and I have done 2 hours and 7 minutes of work. I'm pretty chuffed with myself. I need to do some more editing and description of the video and the subtitles and all the stuff that I need to prepare to have my video ready to go up, especially since on Monday I'm taking the day off and this video is coming out on a Tuesday. But other than that, I'm really quite pleased with how this is going. I have a meeting in the afternoon at 3:30, I believe, but other than that, I don't have anything else planned. So I can actually do some housework or some stuff that I have been procrastinating on for a while. So far, so good. It's almost 2 o'clock and I have 3 minutes left of my 4 hours of work to do. I paused the timer because I needed to do something with the video inside the program, and it takes so long to upload that I don't know, I find like I'm timing it but I'm not doing anything but waiting for it to finish uploading. So I stopped the timer and yeah, I haven't finished my work today. There's more stuff that I could be doing, and I'm freaking out a little bit because I'm taking Monday off, which means that for the video coming out on Tuesday, I'll have to put in the final work on the day that the video is coming out. So I'm not super happy about that. I'll see if I can squeeze in some work tomorrow and postpone some of the stuff I was going to be doing tomorrow for next week because they're not urgent. So we'll see how that goes. I am going to go and grab some lunch, but this is my day finished. I'll see you tomorrow. I just came back from town. I had to run some errands this morning, and I think it is about, okay, so it's 10:40. Therefore, I am going to start my working day later today. I'll probably start around 11. What I have planned for today are editing and SEO work for the video I filmed yesterday, which that was something I would have finished yesterday normally, but because I only had 4 hours, there we go. I've got some admin work that I need to do. I have some client work that I need to catch up on. I have a meeting at 12:30, so that's going to it's not going to count for the 4 hours, but it's going to prolong how long it will take me before I finish and wrap up for the day. And a few other bits and bobs, which I usually do on a Friday, reflecting on the week, maybe planning some stuff for next week. I also do learning and CPD on a Friday. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do that today, so I'll see how much I can squeeze in. I'll catch up with you later and we can do a proper end of this video, and I will tell you the things that I have learned, what worked, what didn't work, if I'm going to continue to do this in the future, and all the other conclusions from this week's experiment. I'll catch you later. It's 4 p.m. on Friday. I just concluded the 4-hour workday experiment and I want to share my conclusions with you. There are a few questions that I asked myself at the beginning of the week, and now I'm going to answer them here. The first one is, was I more productive? And the answer is yes, I was more productive during those 4 hours every day, in the sense that I produced more than I would usually produce in 4 hours. However, in terms of overall productivity, I wasn't able to get more done in 20 hours than I do in a normal week of working at least 8 hours a day. And that's absolutely what I was expecting. I didn't expect for my output to remain the same in half the time. But I did notice that because of the time constraints, I found myself a lot stricter when it comes to distractions, answering emails straight away, taking a break to check social media, etc. And speaking of that, the next question is, what worked well? The fact that I used a timer made a huge difference.
I was so conscious of the timer running in the background, and that made me very strict, like I mentioned, but it also made me aware of how much time I spent on different tasks. The time constraints also forced me to prioritize within the day and start with the most important tasks first that absolutely needed to get done that day. I would normally alternate between hard and easy or mundane tasks as a way to take a break without actually taking one. But during this week, I had to only focus on the most important things and ignore the rest until these tasks were done. Which takes me to my next question, what didn't work so well? And I think I mentioned this in a couple of videos I filmed every day, but I was so engrossed in work that I sometimes forgot to eat or to take a break. And because I was focusing on heavy-duty tasks and doing them one after another with no break, I was pretty tired at the end of the 4 hours. I had a couple of days when after I finished the 4 hours of work, I couldn't do much for the rest of the day. That's how tired I was. Also, the fact that I had meetings in between didn't help. I noticed how difficult it is to come back to being in flow once I've had an interruption. So I think it was a good idea not to include client meetings and other meetings in the 4 hours, but I had a couple of days this week when I had 2 and 3 meetings per day, and those were extremely tiring for me. So I guess it's about finding the right balance between client and non-client work, because coaching does require a lot of concentration and attention, and I need to keep that in mind and maybe schedule some simpler tasks on the day when I have a lot of client work. The next question I want to answer is, will I continue to do this in the future? I want to incorporate elements of it, but not the whole thing. What I want to do is to use the timer 2 or 3 times a week and do 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted and highly focused work during the mornings. I think that with no breaks in between, longer than that would be too much. I also like the idea of having a set time every day after which I normally won't work anymore. And yet, sometimes I have deadlines or I'm catching up on something or preparing something in advance of taking time off, but for the most part, I will try and stick to a set time. Overall, I enjoyed the experiment, although I did freak out a few times because work was piling up and I couldn't get to it. So it's not sustainable for me long term, but it is a good one to do every once in a while and draw some conclusions like I did here for you. I hope you enjoyed watching the slightly different video from me. Let me know in the comments if you like this format. That's it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!